Hello and welcome back. We're continuing our series here about the AAR and IP Toolkit, where we talk a little bit deeper dive now about how to use the thing. So as kind of an orientation to what we're doing, we'll come into the toolkit as a reminder, right? Clicking the blue button on any of our tools here will bring you into the tool itself. And as a reminder, we got to do File, make a copy, change whatever you want it to be called, where you want it to be saved, and then make a copy. Now that's yours. I would suggest hit copy comments when you do that. You don't have to hit share with the same people, but certainly copy comments. That brings all those little instructions, helpful hints, best practices into your document with you. So with that, we will get started with all the tools. As a reminder, we got a cover sheet here. If you have questions or run into trouble, can't make something work, need a change, zap us an email and we will help you through it. What is important here? All the printing functionality works the same as the others. We'll show you how that kind of works here in a minute. We'll actually also walk you through the data entry tab. Then as you kind of come down here and take a look, you can see some of what's going on with the table of contents. All these are live links, so you can zap out to any of those you want. But for now, we will take a little peek here at our, actually we'll start, I take that back. We'll come down here and start with our, let's just say AAR number 1, right? And what we're doing here, similar to all of our other sort of deals, is just going through the green. The bright green is kind of the quote unquote required. And then the lighter colored green is not so much. So as we come through, we're going to say this is region 4. As a reminder, you can do these drop-down customizations. We'll show you how to do that in another video. But it lives up on that very first data entry copy here tab at the very bottom. Long story short, populate this thing through here, blah, lives at blah, etc., etc. We can put in some information, call it what we want. We now can do drop-downs. This was the local EMA. Again, we can customize that drop-down. Here's our first kind of semi-optional thing. And so what we do is stuff happened, it was to do the thing, right? You have it say whatever you want it to say. Executive summary, again, a little mini paragraph goes there. The white ones, right, you can see it's going to pull that information up. And so we're going to say it was a special event. And kind of a full-scale special event. It was planned. Let's see, it's a type 1. It's a big guy. And we have a photo, right? A context photo. So let's say insert image in cells, just like all of our others. We could upload it, pull it out of our Google Drive or something along those lines, or go to Google and say exercise. And we're gonna say it was a stretching exercise, because yeah. Give it a few details here about when did it start, when did it end, how long did we have it last, where did we have it? It was at Anytown, USA. You can see right up here, right, we're starting to pull this in a little bit as we start to populate our document. Protected markings, we're going to say FOUO. We can limit it to some of these if we need them. We don't have to, but we sure can. Objective 1, learn important things. Again, using your smart objectives, we would craft that out. There's a smart objective creator kind of at the back. But you would write that out, right? Select which core capability we're using. Do that across those 6 objectives or up to 6 objectives. We can select the mission area. Probably pick one. Maybe it'll overlap. If you aren't using things, you can just delete them, right? And our drop down still remains there. As you come on down, what we can do is what are we exercising, right? Again, hopefully from your thyra. So as you look here, it could be any of the thyra hazards, or it could be a special event, right? So we're going to do a AAR on the election that we just completed, or whatever else. A little bit of information here about your scenario. It's got some details on what you might like to see. If you got any other info, you can certainly add it. And now as we start working through, you can see the general overall AAR. This is all that you would have to kind of populate for what's going on. So it went well, it went not well, it went according to plan, whatever else, the overall strengths. You can include any of these, or again, you can customize that drop-down list. If you do the free flow, though, you lose some of your kind of insight harvesting. So it is important to kind of agree on a consolidated drop-down list before we start filling out all of the AARs, because if you've got some 10, 12, 15, whatever it might be, insights or strengths, general buckets of strengths, we want to try to harvest those up and then roll them up into trends that we can analyze. So we'll say in this case, our ICS was a big strength. The IC was amazing. He had a great team built, right? We can go through, give it some strengths. We can come through and say, hey, which classes would have been useful. Again, this draws off of a whole big list that is, again, customizable, but we'll say the advanced PIO class was very helpful for this, right? And again, for any one exercise, not a huge deal. But across the series, we start to pull trends. We can do a little photo library, similar to what we were doing earlier. So we'll do image in cells, upload it. In this case, right, fire training exercise. It'll think for a little minute here, and we'll say this is our exercise, right? It tells the story a little bit. We can put a caption on there. Done doing work. We can load up to 4 of those. A couple quick insights. How many folks were there roughly, right? We'll say 46 of us. And we were from 21 different agencies. Agency 1 was the Anytown Fire Department. We can select disciplines. Again, it may be one of those that you may need to customize your list a little bit, but these guys are from the fire service. Chief Bob at fire.fire, right? He is a local guy, and he was again, we can select out of any of these, right? We're going to say he was an actor. You work through, you can load up to, you can see there 18 different organizations. This helps generate who the emails will go to, who we're going to send stuff to, who gets credit for the exercise, all that good stuff. Senior ranking VIPs, we can list those out. Again, they're optional, and you can see, again, the bright green. We don't have to fill out all the details, but we sure can. As you go, if we have any extra acronyms here, right, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So it seems kind of onerous, but as you can see, that abbreviated form runs just off the bright green. So you're done if that's all you wanted to capture. If you want to go a little bit deeper, get more to the deep dive level and those IP kind of things, we can come in here and say that overall it was performed with some challenges, and we're going to come here and select the S button for some challenges. We got it partial capability, right? General observations. We can dive down a little bit deeper. As you go through here, objective number 2, right? This you can see 1, 2. It just starts kind of pulling them down. This will be whatever you wrote your objective up above. It'll pull in your core capability. You kind of answer the questions on those 6 objectives. And now we get to the improvement plan. As you come down here a little bit, we can come in and type in that we prioritize corrective actions on whatever facets we do. When are we going to check in? How are we going to check in? Answer those questions if they're useful. Again, they're not the bright green or the kind of dull green. They're useful, but they're not absolutely critical. As you come down now, we have corrective action. So for core capability, cybersecurity, our issue from improvement, we can again copy and paste it from above or kind of rephrase it if we need. What is our corrective action? It is going to be out of our training. Chief Bob is going to take care of it. Again, you can see how we kind of spell that stuff out as we go. We have a second corrective action for that core capability. So under cybersecurity, we also need an exercise, right? And we can spell that out. We can do several of the core capabilities here. You can see we do 4 of them. So you get 8 corrective actions on 4 core capabilities. Prioritize there. If we have the participant feedback forms, if we chose to use those, we can come through here and count them up. Just again, when they turn them in, count them up, and we said, hey, 8, 10, 14, 6, and 12. When we counted those, that's who all answered those questions. You can see how we could fill the rest of those out. We also can put some top comments in there, right? Any strengths, super lunch. It was delicious. Boom. You can do the same thing here, right? Again, not necessary, but may provide some extra kind of flavor and narrative to your AAR if it's useful. The EEGs, exercise evaluator guides, these are completely optional, just as some of that was above. But if you want to generate EEGs based on your stuff, we'd probably recommend you use the exercise toolkit. But seeing as this is an AAR toolkit, you sure can use it here. And so here, right, Mr. Smith is our evaluator from ABC, his email and his phone. He's going to be evaluating our response at the EOC. His objective was from up above, right? Those are drop downs now, and the core capability of that, critical transportation. And if we want, we can come in here and find critical transportation. Right there it is. That gives him a sense of what he's looking for. Now, we can spell out based on our EOP or other plans, what is the target of that, what are those critical tasks, and then give our evaluator an EEG for him to come watch, or she to come watch our exercise. You can see there we can do 6 evaluators. So it looks like an awful lot of data entry, but you may only have 1 evaluator. So now the rest of this is all NA. As you go through there, that is kind of our data entry. So it seems like a lot, but as you look through, the bright green is actually relatively small. And we'll show you in another video if you want to, again, create kind of the Google Form app to force feed some of this stuff. This tool will embed that, and we can make that happen. So all that said, as always, thanks for joining us. Join us on our next episode here, and we'll talk through kind of the next steps of the tool beyond the data entry. As you can imagine, right, your second exercise, we're going 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. And we'll show you on our next video if you want to do some of the prints, some of those reports we looked at in the first video, how you can copy and paste from here so you don't have to do any duplicate typing. So as always, thanks for joining us. Have a great day, night, whatever it is when you're watching this, and we'll talk to you next time. See ya.